Hi, this is Frank Schaefer. I am an author. And when my first novel, Portofino, was published, I had just left the evangelical world and the nepotistic sidekick role that had been assigned to me by being born the son of Francis and Edith Schaefer, famous evangelical leaders. And Portofino was regarded as somehow anti-evangelical, as were some of my later nonfiction books, like my memoir, Crazy for God, which was banned from a number of evangelical campuses, and students were told not to read it, that it would be a bad influence on them, and it was censored. Meanwhile, the books became very successful in the wider market, and all kinds of folks read it who didn't come from that background, and they were accepted. So I have a kind of knee-jerk gut reaction against censorship. I was interested in reading something out of the Washington Post I'll share with you from yesterday. A decision to change hundreds of words in Roald Dahl's children's books has drawn condemnation from author Salman Rushdie, who called it absurd censorship. Now remember, Rushdie's someone who had a fatwa against him because of something he had written in Satanic Verses calling for his death, got stabbed, lost the sight in his eye, almost died because of that fatwa. And he knows something about censorship. Back to the article. His is the latest prominent voice in the heated debate sparked after a report Friday in Britain's Telegraph detailed a litany of changes by Dahl's publisher and the Roald Dahl Story Company, which manages the work's copyright and trademarks that were designed to make the famous books more inclusive and accessible for today's readers. Roald Dahl was no angel, but this is absurd censorship, Rushdie, a Booker Prize-winning author, wrote on Twitter, calling the children's imprint of the British publisher Penguin Books, Puffin Books, and the Dahl estate should be ashamed. Rushdie is one of the most famous authors in the world. His novel Satanic Verses prompted Iran's Ayatollah Khomeini in 1989 to issue a religious decree calling for Muslims everywhere in the world to assassinate Rushdie and anyone else involved in the publication of the book. And so the changes in Dahl's books were done in partnership with Inclusive Minds, whatever the hell that is, a collective for people who are passionate about inclusion, diversity, and accessibility in children's literature, according to the Roald Dahl Story Company. I'd love to know who those people are. Among the changes, according to the Telegraph, the character Augustus Gloop from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is no longer described as fat. Now he is referred to as enormous. What was described as a weird African language in the book, the twits, is no longer weird. In the BFG, a reference to the character of the blood bottler having skin that was reddish brown has been removed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, you know, if Roald Dahl's books trigger something in this group that's going to clean them up and rewrite literature, why stop there? Let's go back and rewrite Shakespeare. Let's rewrite the Bronte sisters' books because they weren't feminist enough, and they speak in sexist language of gender, male and female, and it's not inclusive of whatever else we want to call gender today. Rewrite my books. If you're an evangelical, go back and take away everything from Portofino that makes it funny when I talk about growing up evangelical. Take out what you don't like in Crazy for God. It's already banned on a number of evangelical campuses and isn't used there as it is in the history of religion classes in Princeton and Harvard Divinity and a number of other places. You know, why stop there? Maybe mention of lynchings and civil rights and Black Lives Matter trigger white readers. How about banning courses on that in say, Florida, that's a red state now? Oh, wait a minute. That's already been done, hasn't it? That's what Ron DeSantis is doing. What is going on with both the right and the left in this country trying to ban books, and now even worse than banning studies in colleges, going back and rewriting the text? How about we rewrite history as found inconvenient by white nationalists and Christian nationalists who don't like bits of our history? Let's just edit out the burning of the Pequot Indian tribe here in Massachusetts altogether. It's inconvenient. You know, this way lies madness. And if there are any actual liberals left, or any actual libertarian right-wingers left, or any actual Republicans that believe in free speech left, can we please get together and just say no to this craziness? And as an author, I bitterly resent the idea that my life's work will be rewritten at some point to fit in with some now undefined future language police that I don't even know how to suit now because it's never occurred to me whatever they're going to come up with next. So speaking as one author, I joined Salman Rushdie and other authors who are objecting to this, PEN, the American Association of Writers, who have written a letter of protest about this, and others. Forget this. Don't go and rewrite books you find inconvenient. Just don't read them if you don't like them. It's idiocy because, of course, you cut yourself off from all human history. But, it's one thing to ban a book. At least so far, the evangelicals have never tried to print a safe edition of my memoir, Crazy for God, that makes them feel good. Imagine, where does this end? My name is Frank Schaeffer. Thank you.